1,000 years of history preceding them. This is the problem in the Middle East as well.
What? What? It's like bad racism. It doesn't even make sense. What kind of... Nobody is talking about 1,000 years of history. You were...
In this video, Whiny Destiny reacts to a clip from Piers Morgan Uncensored. The segment features Dan Crenshaw, and the topic of discussion is Ukraine. With that, let's watch Destiny freak out unnecessarily once again.
The White House blow up. I mean, I watched it myself as well, and my take from it was, this is not the time to be litigating.
Yeah, we know, bro. We know you're just going to say the exact same thing everyone else has said 1,000,000 times. Zelensky, if you've got a problem, bro, don't have this debate in public in front of the whole American people. Trump is just trying to make everybody look nice and happy here. Go have this debate. Why are you trying to iron out the details of a private deal in public? This isn't correct. This isn't the art of the deal.
And my take from it was, this is not the time to be litigating past histories about Putin, whether you're right or not. This isn't the moment for it. It's time to have lunch, sign a deal, and get on our way to a peace deal. And so Mehdi's complaints seem to be purely stylistic. You don't like Trump's style?
You don't think the style of the leader of your country matters at all? Like, where these weird points... I'm about to stereotype so hard, but like, Crenshaw seems like the kind of guy who, I don't know if he's got children, like if his daughter showed up for prom and there was some guy to pick her up and he was wearing like a dirty t-shirt and fucking sweatpants, Crenshaw seems like the kind of guy who gets super ass painted about it. He couldn't dress up for your prom. Guy he couldn't rent a fucking suit. What's wrong with this guy? Why does he look like a fucking bum? Like, you don't think style, or you don't think the presentation of your lead representative to the world, which is who the US president is, more so than other leaders in countries, because we elect him directly. The United States people elect our president to represent us. You don't think that matters?
Style and how he got people to the table. But how else would you do it? I mean, if you agree with the premise of a ceasefire, like you do have to engage in uncomfortable flattery with the Russians. That is something Trump knows. It is how you wrangle them. And look, Zelensky has been pandered to.
This is also another thing. Just please, somebody, please, Mehdi, please.
He becomes harder to watch every single time. So Destiny rightly predicts what Dan Crenshaw is going to say about having the debate in private versus public. But he acts so annoyed when he says that. Why does that annoy you so much? He's just answering the question. I don't get why Destiny is perpetually annoyed. Maybe it's because of his legal troubles, but he was like this before then. And the daughter picked up from prom analogy was terrible. And I'm sorry my commentary just seems to be questions here, but I don't understand what's wrong with Donald Trump's style in that meeting. If anything, he was playing good cop, bad cop with J.D. Vance. It takes some of the heat off Trump, which is a good thing. The man's attacked 24 hours a day, every single day for 10 years. What did he do wrong in their Destiny? What did Trump do wrong? Zelensky was in the wrong. I just don't even know if there's an argument over that anymore. Zelensky was out of line. His behavior was embarrassing. I don't know. Let's see if we get more clarity. Anyway, let's see if we get more clarity coming up here.
Okay. Mehdi, I know we're connected right now in our brains. Okay, because every time I've asked him to do something, he does it later on in this interview, okay? Mehdi, can you ask him, can you name one thing that Donald Trump has gotten using these negotiation tactics for America? Just one thing, because I'm just curious, because you keep saying this is how he negotiates, this is how he does things. What's something he's gotten for us doing this?
By Europeans,
please,
by us for a while. Now, look, I think everything happened as it should happen along the timelines. I think we needed to probably do a lot more than Biden did, quicker and faster aid to defend Ukraine in the beginning. 3 years later, Trump is right. It is time to actually start talking. And regardless of whether those talks have worked in the past...
But then you talk about Zelensky wearing a suit, and Destiny goes the other way. Zelensky wearing the uniform that he's wearing communicates exactly the message that he should be communicating, which has been consistent with other leaders, by the way, in history showing up at the White House. Zelensky is communicating that he is the president of a country at war, which is fine. The clothing style and his presentation publicly is appropriate for that. I'm not saying that every single person should just wear a suit at every single moment in life. It's like saying like, oh, Destiny thinks that a person should dress well going to court, but he didn't give a fuck about this guy who showed up to his roofing job yesterday wearing jeans and a t-shirt. So where's the consistency, Destiny? Hello?
Again, that was J.D. Vance's point in the White House. Why are we litigating that? Let's talk about present and future. And that's a very American way of thinking, but it works. And it's not a very Eastern European asked. Again, that was J.D. Vance's point in the White House. Why are we litigating that? Let's talk about present and future. And that's a very American way of thinking, but it works. And it's
What's a very American way of thinking? That we negotiate deals privately? What?
not a very Eastern European way of thinking, right?
This is really difficult to react to because the person I'm reacting to seems to not know what the hell he's watching. He's like, what have we ever gotten out of Trump's negotiations? Well, Ukraine will eventually sign this mineral deal, and we will, for the first time since the Ukraine conflict started, actually get something for all the money and assistance that we've sent over there. How can you view Donald Trump's negotiation tactics as a bad thing? Zelensky will sign this mineral deal eventually. It'll be very good for us. It'll be very good for them because our interests will be aligned with theirs, which provides them more security because we're always going to protect our interests. And soon here, Donald Trump will end this war in Ukraine. So maybe it's not happening on your timeline, but Donald Trump is doing something, Destiny, you moron. I don't care if you like his negotiation style or not. The prior administration did nothing, and all we do is dump $180 billion to Ukraine and get nothing for it. You're an idiot. And why does Destiny love Zelensky so much? I don't understand anyone on the left. Why would anyone support this war? I still don't really get it. You know Destiny's brain is broken when he thinks that Zelensky taking the John Fetterman dress code everywhere is a good idea. Destiny, you want people to throw on a suit to go to court, which sounds pretty logical to me, but then your analogy is, but the guy that went to his roofing job didn't wear a suit, so you should be mad. No, meeting with the leader of the free world, Destiny, is not quite the same as a roofing job. This is really painful to watch. Anyway, let's get back to it.
They think in terms of the 1,000 years of history preceding them. This is the problem in the Middle East as well.
What? What? It's like bad racism. It doesn't even make sense. What kind of fucking retarded? Nobody is talking about 1,000 years of history, you retarded fuck. They're talking about 5 years of history, or 10, I guess, if you go back to the Crimean takeover. What are you talking about? And even his fucking Israeli dick suck point here doesn't make sense. 1,000 years history, that's a problem in the Middle East as well. Israel hasn't been there for 1,000 years, you fucking retard. What are you talking about?
Of thinking, right? They think in terms of the 1,000 years of history preceding them. This is the problem in the Middle East as well. Like, this is just, there's a cultural mismatch there, and I think that's what you actually saw unfold in the White House.
Holy shit! There are people in Western Europe right now watching Crenshaw who are like, damn, we all hate Eastern Europeans as well, but holy shit, Dan, you're like hitting that right on the nose there. They're jealous. I didn't even know I could shit on fucking Polacks and fucking Eastern Europeans and the Slavs. I didn't know I could be this race against them. This is okay? Did they do this in America? I thought we were supposed to be the ones with the anti-European specific racisms. Holy shit, Crenshaw has learned.
This is just, there's a cultural mismatch there, and I think that's what you actually saw unfold in the White House.
Also, on your point, Dan,
if you like watching videos like this one, like and subscribe. We'd really appreciate it. Let's get back to the video.
We seem to agree.
I like how when Piers comes in, he wants to like add and bolster Dan's points, but when he's talking after Mehdi talks, he wants to attack Mehdi's points. Was Piers really about to add on to that?
On the outcome here, we seem to all like the outcome.
yeah, I agree. And the other thing I would say on your point about how to deal with Putin. Well, Mehdi, hang on.
don't know what the
No, shut up. Hold on, Mehdi. It's my turn. Crenshaw's going to take the balls. I'm going to take the shaft now, okay? Shut the fuck up. We're busy over here, okay?
Like, this is just, there's a different, the 1,000 years of history about present and future. Asked again, talking, 3 years.
I'm sorry, this is so wild.
Years later, work to agree on the outcome here. We seem to all like the outcome.
Yeah, I agree. And the other thing I would say on your point about how to deal with Putin. Well, Mehdi, hang on.
We don't know what the outcome is. We don't know what the outcome
hang
is.
on.
We don't know what the outcome is.
No, okay, but we all agree
as of today, we seem to like it, right? I mean,
There is no outcome. What do you mean? As of today, there is no peace agreement. So I would say as of today, we don't like the outcome. There is no positive outcome right now.
The idea
ball
that
is in
Ukraine
Putin's
has
court.
signed up to a ceasefire, which is a way further
Oh, that's where we're at today. The ball is in Putin's court. That's where we're at today? Where the fuck do you think we've been for the past 10 fucking years?
forward than
We've been at a ceasefire for the last 10 years? What are you talking about? I admit that I could just be completely ignorant. This could be going over my head, but how does Destiny get racism from anything that Dan Crenshaw said? I'm not even a Dan Crenshaw fan, by the way. Destiny's just perpetually angry. Who chooses to watch him scream at the screen? What are we even watching? It does not matter who you put on here. It doesn't matter if they're a rhino, a never Trumper, any conservative, any Republican, and probably a lot of liberals too. All he'll do is scream at them just to be contrarian. Like maybe that's what his audience likes, or that's why people watch him, to see him freak out. I don't know if this is a shtick. I mean, I understand if you've got a good formula to make people watch, but I'm sorry, I don't get what the appeal is here. All I learned is that, again, Destiny doesn't like Donald Trump or the way he's doing anything. He's never doing enough. A ceasefire is bad, and apparently Dan Crenshaw's racist. What is this? Please help me out in the comments to what I am missing here that would make anyone want to watch this, or if I'm missing great points that Destiny's making. I'm serious. I know I could be wrong and I could be missing something. This just doesn't make any sense to me. But like I said, please let me know what you think of this shit show in the comments. Anyway, as always, really appreciate you watching, and we will see you on the next one.